for the action.
Hello everyone and welcome to Sharp Dress Gaming, and today we're back with week 2 of the DBL. This is season 3, of course, and this week we're up against the St. Louis Swellows. Now for those of you who didn't know, St. Louis Swellows are actually who we faced off against in the finals for the DBL season 2. They ended up taking it all, but this week we are back to show some revenge, hopefully. Now, unfortunately this was another instance in where where we're supposed to battle on Thursday and then ended up getting pushed off till Sunday, so it's really late and everything's just blah 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 all together. So I don't know what happened during Team Builder for this this battle, because if you look at my team, there's not really anything that can deal with Kinkelder. I mean, we have Venomoth that can deal with it by attacking it, but there's nothing that switches in on a Kinkelder. I should have brought Sableye this week, but I didn't, so there's misplay number 1. We'll see how many more misplays I make in this match. I don't necessarily remember if I made too many misplays. Well, you guys will see. Let's get into the battle here, and we will get started. So starting off, I lead with Venomoth. I'm like, all right, let's just start setting up in something's face. We have a Focus Sash. We can just Sleep Powder. So this Kinkelder is a perfect match for us. So I'm just going to freaking Sleep Powder. But I should have been aware that there's a Celebi and that he's obviously going to switch into it knowing the Sleep Powder is coming. So I should have just straight up Quiver Dance right there, because we're not going to like the Psychic. It's going to bring us down to Sash. And it is Life Orb Celebi, so if I'd Quiver Dance turn 1, we would have been able to outspeed the Celebi, and I am carrying Bug Buzz, which one-hit KO Celebi, I think even without the Quiver. But with the Quiver, it definitely does, plus it guarantees the outspeed. So, bop, there goes Celebi. So we do pick up an early lead, but at the loss of our Focus Sash on our Venomoth, because now this thing can come in and Mach Punch us. Now, obviously, nothing's going to want to take a Mach Punch, and Venomoth's not going to be able to come in on this Kinkelder at all and use Psychic on it, so I just let Venomoth go down there. And here I'm going to bring in Volcanion. It's really the only thing I can deal with Kinkelder, but it also really can't, because it can't do enough damage to Kinkelder. Like, I'm going for Steam Eruption here, because I'm like, well, I just need the damage. And he goes for Drain Punch and just takes, like, half of it back. So I'm like, well, this is dumb. So I'm going to Fire Blast. I just need to get this Kinkelder down so I can take it out at some point. So I go for the Fire Blast. Luckily, no burn on that to give him guts, but he's still just Drain Punching us in the face, and I can't bring anything in on a Drain Punch. We have an Absol and a Kyurem who are both weak to it. And then Electivire and Sock don't want to be taking it. It's near you can just Mach Punch again. So Kinkelder's already got 2 KOs with Mach Punches, so that's not good for us. I'm going to bring in the Electivire here. I think I do go for Wild Charge here. He has 2 Pokemon that resist Wild Charge, or are immune to Wild Charge, sorry, but he still goes into the Uxie, so I'm not sure on that play on his side. I mean, the Uxie's eating it, even with a critical hit, so it wasn't a huge problem for him. He was probably switching Uxie in, expecting me to Earthquake, expecting the Manectric, but even then, Landorus is still better, just because of being immune to both of those moves. But he gets his Stealth Rocks up while I bring my Absol in. I'm like, alright Absol, we just need to knock off, get rid of this thing, and then we can deal with other Pokemon later on. So I Mega Evolve my Absol and I go for that knockoff. And Absol hits it, bop. Doesn't do the deed, so now there's still an Uxie here, and it gets a U-turn off, which is going to hurt. Ow. You see it does a little over 50%. Poor Absol. Poor Absol. Wasn't able to hit hard enough, and then it takes a butt ton of damage after that. And then, of course, Kinkelder can come in and Mach Punch us right in the face. I'm like, alright, I could probably still use this Absol. I'm going to keep it around, switch out. Bring in my Electivire, which should take 1 Mach Punch. It should take 1. Unfortunately, it won't take 2. So we're going to get hit with that Mach. And then he could have mocked me again. Maybe he wasn't confident on the rolls. So he just brings in Uxie. I Ice Punch just in case Landorus came in this time. But it was Uxie again, so... Excuse me. Electivire will pick up a KO at least. And then in comes Squishy, the Tentacruel, which I wasn't 100% on why he brought that in. I am Choice Scarfed, so maybe he knew I was Choice Scarfed and switched in. I'm not 100% on that. I don't know. But I bring in my my Kyurem Black, seeing if he's just gonna like Toxic Spike or something. I don't know. But he does go for Sludge Bomb, and that does a ton of damage to my poor Kyurem. And now here I set up sub just to see if he'll switch, because I need to pull something off, to bring this match back. But no cigar. He goes for another Sludge Bomb. So I believe I just go for an Earth Power here, and another Sludge Bomb should take me out from this range. Oh, I would go for Outrage. That's right. I go for an Outrage because it's going to do a ton of damage to this thing. It does more than Earth Power actually. And he goes for another Sludge Bomb, which ends up not taking me out, which is perfect because that means Kyurem is either going to knock this thing out or it's going to do a ton of damage to something that switches in with Outrage. The only thing that might want to switch in Outrage is like Landorus at this point. But he's going to leave in the Tentacruel to get knocked out. Gosh, I was fine up until this episode. It's always right before I record I start coughing. It's terrible. But we get the Outrage off and knock out the Tentacruel. Now we can just bring in Conkeldurr and Mach punches again. Hooray! You can see why I needed Sableye this match, because it's just Mach punch the game right now. So Kyurem's gone. And I'm going to bring in Sock. Now Sock somehow is my saving grace in this match. I'm like, alright, I can close combat this thing right in the face. Nothing except for the Landorus is going to want to take a close combat. He's going to bring in Yumi, which is actually the Magnetric. I went for knockoff here just in case he went into Landorus, because I could knock off the Choice Scarf if it had it. But he brought in the Magnetric. I got a good crit there to do over 50%. I brought in, and then here I bring in Electivire just in case he forgot about Motor Drive. I didn't want my Sock to go down because it is my saving grace, like I said. So he's going to get the Intimidate off onto my poor Electivire, and then he's going to Flamethrower, and that's going to knock me out. So now I just have Absol and Sock, and with a few misplays from my opponent and a few good plays from us, we can pull this back. I'm going to bring in Sock, and I'm just going to go for close combat. He must have not known I was choiced at this point, Choice Scarfed, because he just let the Magnetric take it, unless he really thought that Landorus wasn't going to be able to take it. So I get the close combat. It's going to knock out Magnetric. And he brings in Landorus. So at this point, he would have had to bring in Conkeldurr for us to win, because I could have close combated Conkeldurr, knocked it out from the range it was at. But being locked into close combat, I need to switch into Absol. And he goes for Earthquake, which is going to knock out Absol. And then I can bring in Sock, knock this thing out with Ice Punch, but Ice Punch won't knock out Conkeldurr. So that was really the only way around it. I could have gone for a close combat and then Sucker Punch Landorus, but then I still couldn't have knocked out Conkeldurr with Sucker Punch, so it really didn't matter in the long run. But we get the Ice Punch off, which is going to knock out this Landorus, which we had a better chance this way to win than we did the other way. Because we still could have froze this Conkeldurr and gotten a crit. Whereas Sucker Punch, even with a crit, I don't know that it would have knocked out. Actually, it probably would have knocked out Conkeldurr with a crit, but I don't think we would have knocked out Landorus with close combat and stuff. And he actually goes for, he had to go for Drain Punch there. I was at still a ton of health, but if he would have went for another Drain Punch or something dumb like that, we could have won. So we were just hoping for misplays at the end because we misplayed so much at the beginning. But we dug our own hole, and now we have to lay down in it. So, GG, Jason, coach of the St. Louis Swellows. DBL's not going good for us. Get hacks out of week 1, play like an idiot, and team build badly week 2. So, week 3, we're going to be coming back at this, boys. We're coming back. The Minnesota Wild Chargers are bringing it back. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll see you next time. Stay sharp, everyone, and go Wild Charge.